I was saying to Lindsay, I was like, I think you more need to like postpone this, and you guys don't need to move forward with this in November. And she was like, well, why would we postpone and just not get married? Like, what's the difference of a couple months?
Well, Ciara, it's so good to see you.
So good to see you.
So beautiful. Do you have patients that recognize you?
Yeah. It's weird. I just recently went back to nursing.
Okay.
I had like a year and a half off, and like I was like, okay, let me get back into it. And yeah, so sometimes I've had some like chance encounters in the elevator. People are like, and I'm like, please don't freak out. Please don't freak out. Or there's like family members. I'll like walk into a room to go do something, and they're like, and I'm like, oh, just act like you saw a ghost. Like, I'm not even here.
Oh my God, that's too funny. Are they like asking you like secrets about the show? Be like, can you tell me this?
They're like, I know you. It's a weird situation to be in because like they recognize me, but then they're in. I like work in the ICU, so then it's like they're concerned about their family member, but they're like,
what's going on? But
they're
like,
wait, what's happening? And we want to ask you all of this stuff, but like we just don't. It's such a weird situation to be in. I'm like, do you need anything from me? No, other than like questions on the show. Nope, you're good. Okay,
we're good. What made you want to go back?
Honestly, I think just like putting my feet back on the ground. I think, it's crazy that it's been like 4 years now of TV and Summer House and Winter House. So
and modeling and going back into
all of it. And like moving to New York, and it's like bright lights, big city, I kind of was like, I need to put my feet back on the ground a little bit. It's nice to go back home to Georgia and like have my Georgia friends and just kind of go. I feel like at some point you kind of need to go back to your life a little bit before TV. And I missed nursing to a certain extent. And I'm just trying to figure out, how can my medical background, really fit into my life. And so, because it's not really something I want to give up. I do want to keep it for the long run. So, I'm just trying to make it all work.
Are you back and forth to Georgia then? Oh, wow. Okay. So you're kind of like living in two different places
Commuting.
now.
I'm a commuting queen right now. It's like a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Except, not for the guy though.
For the job.
But for the job. Yeah. So it's definitely like, this past month and a half has been kind of crazy, just like going back and forth, but it's going to die down soon because I'm a very low level PRN as needed position. So, but it's nice to be back at like my home hospital and
that's awesome.
Work with like the doctors that I love. And,
that's great. I love that. Like you said, it's not something that you ever want to give up. So I think that's really great. I loved your Express campaign with Madison.
Thanks.
So beautiful.
Thank you.
Was that so much fun to film with her?
Honestly, I love Madison. She has become one of my closest and one of my greatest friends, especially like on the network. I feel like sometimes like we have these like network friendships and they're almost like in passing, but like we've honestly developed such a good friendship over the past like year or so. Despite us having dated the same
did you bond over the
but I also think we're like the same type of girl and we never really had the attitude of like, oh, we dated the same guy, I'm taking you down. It was very much like, okay, we dated the same idiot, let's gossip about it.
Right,
like, let's talk all about the idiot, So it was kind of like, we bonded that way, but then also we just like are very similar and I don't know, I just love her and
I think
so it was like the perfect combination. I love shooting with her and she's just the cutest.
No, she is wonderful. Yeah. Speaking of the idiot, do you ever hear from him?
Literally no.
No,
we move on.
We are way past that. Yeah. How are you feeling about this season so far?
So far so good.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Obviously brought you products, so you'll be nice to me on whatever
it
is.
I will.
So far so good. Honestly, I think it was such a fun summer. So I think it's like really translating as such. I like a good season because I've had some bad ones.
Right.
So I'd like to keep it on the up and up.
But I feel like this cast particularly gelled really well together.
Yeah.
Did you feel that kind of right off the bat when Jesse and Wes came in?
Yeah, and I think that like we needed more guys, and so there's a ton of girls. Like we needed more guys, mix up the energy. We love Kyle and Carl, but we're like kind of sick of them. Like we needed someone to like, them to kind of like freshen things up a little bit, and they definitely made it interesting. And I feel like they kind of came right in and like rolled with the punches, physically and like literally and figuratively. Like they just they hit the ground running, and so it honestly does feel like a very cohesive family.
Yeah. It was funny. Jesse yesterday told me that he made a terrible first impression.
Oh
we
my God,
didn't really see it.
Awful.
Right?
You didn't see it. It's funny because I like one morning we like went to go get bagels because he had just, it was like weekend after weekend for like 2 weeks in a row. He had just been getting beat up. I was like, we don't hate you, but we are hazing you to a certain extent. Like, we're not an easy bunch, so honestly, get it out now. I mean, I feel like Wes hasn't gone through that, so it's probably coming, you know, at some point in time. But yeah, Jesse just couldn't get it right for a couple weeks, but we had to just figure him out. He's quirky.
Yeah.
He's quirky.
He is. Yeah. He did say that the trash bag comment was endearing.
Now it was. I love Jesse Solomon, but I will never fail to put him in his place.
I love that.
I will always be the girl to, you know, check the guys a little bit because they live up here and we have to bring them back down to earth. Like,
exactly.
I feel like that's what we were put on this earth to do.
Totally.
So I'm just literally doing the Lord's work, you know. So
he said that his dating habits have not changed. You have not introduced him to any of your friends. Is that why?
To his core, I think Jesse is a great guy. I just think that he's in the phase where, you know, he just wants to have fun, and I appreciate him being honest about it. I think over the summer, like, words and actions weren't really aligning, like what he was saying and what he was doing. I'm like, well, what is it that you really want? Yeah. And so, but now after knowing him, I'm like, okay, yeah, you just want to like go have fun, go be in Miami, be there, be here, be everywhere. So like do that, but like don't like, but you're not looking. Maybe you are looking for the one, and if you happen to find her amazing, but like you said, he's chasing leads.
He's chasing leads.
Yeah.
What I love about this season is that the girls are all in sync.
Yeah.
And really, for the most part, really getting along this season. Was that a surprise to you?
Oh my God, always,
Yes.
Yeah. You know our history with the girls. I feel like with us, it's very like, who knows how it's going to go. I feel like consistently, me, Paige, and Amanda are, you know, I feel like producers would dream of us to like fight or something, like to have something interesting. But I'm like, we really don't. I mean, sometimes like we might get annoyed by each other, but it's never anything that we're like, that would be explosive. Yeah. But sometimes we never know if, you know, if it's going to be a divided household amongst the girls. And poor Kyle and Carl, because they've had to really deal with that over the years. But honestly, I feel like we were able to all kind of drop our guard some and just chill out, you know, like. And then we welcomed everyone graciously into the bed with us, and I think that always helps.
It does.
You know?
Totally. One of my favorite moments this season is you, Paige, and Amanda talking together and kind of like hyping up your girl.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that kind of maybe had like a light bulb go off in her mind, and that's like when she kind of talked to Kyle about, all right, I need to take a step back maybe?
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, I hope, and I think that she said that like, you know, she had these thoughts about herself, but she didn't really know. And I feel like that's what your friends are for. I always want my girlfriends to be honest with me, and especially like Paige and Amanda, I can always count on them to like give it to me straight and or be devil's advocate. And Paige is give it to you straight, Amanda's devil's advocate. And so like if you can't be your most honest version of yourself with your friends, then it's just like not an authentic friendship. And we love her so much. And I think she's so talented, and she's so perfect, and she's so creative, and she's such a good person, and she has all these amazing qualities that, like, I don't want her to wake up in 20 years and be like, did I sit in the background way too much? Like, she's worthy of everything that she wants to accomplish and more. And so that was kind of our main, you know, reason for having that conversation with her. Because I feel like me and Amanda and Paige are very similar, and like we get into our own heads and we're like self-conscious about things, and it's like the guys have all the confidence in the world. It's insane, and literally for no reason sometimes. And like for women, I feel like we question every single thing that we do, and like our worth, and like we have this imposter syndrome, and it's like sometimes you need your girlfriends to like push you out of your comfort zone. So that was kind of like the motivation for.
Were you surprised about Kyle's reaction?
Yeah. Like, I'd like to say that I'm not surprised by his reactions one day, but like sometimes I'm like, literally take yourself out of it. And I think that that was the frustrating thing about seeing that play out, was that Amanda responded to that conversation with us so well, and you know, we believe in her so much, and I know that Kyle loves Amanda so much, but sometimes he can't take himself out of the scenario, and we're like, it's not about you. It's not about Loverboy. And so sometimes we have to bring Kyle back down to earth and remind him that, like, not everyone is in love with Loverboy.
Sure.
Like,
Right.
and not everyone like feels as passionate about that as you do. And that's okay. And like, she can go off and have her own thing, and she's still gonna love you. We're all still gonna love you. Like, it's the dynamic won't change, but like, she can have something for herself.
Right, yeah, she's not abandoning you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
And she's not jumping ship, and she still loves Loverboy, and she's still going to help you out. No one's leaving you high and dry.
Right.
So, yeah.
How's he looking without that mullet?
Oh, my God. Thank God. That mullet is gone. He's so cute. I was like, this, like, hair in the back, this little tail. I'm like, ugh. Yeah.
Say goodbye.
Yeah, thank goodness.
What was your reunion experience like?
You know, the reunions are always stressful. It takes you some days to come back after the reunion. I call it my post-reunion anxiety spiral.
Yes.
And that is what I did after for a couple days. You don't leave your house. You don't talk to anyone. Maybe you cry a little bit. Maybe you don't. But, yeah, 4 years in now. It just, it gets easier, I guess, but like very little. But I guess it was fine.
Were there tears after this one?
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, after, during, yeah. I mean, I'm going to always cry.
I could always cry.
One thing about me, I'm going to always cry.
Yeah. I saw you're sitting next to Lindsay.
Yeah.
What was that like? Because Jesse said that she and Carl, you know, kind of
Yeah.
hashed it out.
Yeah, they were going at it. I mean, like, I haven't sat next to Lindsay in a reunion before, so that was, like, different. But honestly, it was fine. Like, we didn't have any really, any animosity or anything towards each other, so it was fine. But yeah, I mean, I had Lindsay on one side, Paige on the other, so it kind of balances it out. But like, the girls were fine.
The girls were fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like you got closure on things that you needed closure on?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're good. You're like, what?
I need closure on.
You're good.
Yeah.
Danielle and Paige went at it though.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, are we? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you surprised that Paige didn't go more harder on Danielle during the season about the comments about Craig?
Sometimes it's really hard to see what's being said in totality.
Sure.
And like in the moment kind of catches you off guard some because you're like, wait, and then you go home, you analyze it, and then you're like, wait, I should have said this, but I didn't. There's a lot of uncut moments, honestly, with Danielle and the girls that like wasn't seen. So it's not like, you know, we didn't address anything.
Sure.
It's just a matter of like what made it and what didn't.
Yeah. How are you and Danielle? We're not back at like glass throwing place. No, we're good.
No, we've come a long way.
We've come a long way.
We've come a long way. We've come a long way. No, me and Danielle were fine this summer as well. I mean, I didn't have beef with anyone.
No, you didn't.
Oh, I
The
love
Gabby
that.
moment was kind of hard to watch, though, with, like, Hop-a-Loon Boy.
Yeah. I think the competing with your friend, I'll never understand that. I will say there are some types of friendships in the house that I'll never understand. And I, like, will never understand competing with, like, one of your best girlfriends. You could never find me, Paige, or Amanda in that type of situation. Like, oh my God, if Paige thought someone was hot, I would never look his direction. And probably vice versa. And we always joke about that. She's like, imagine in Winter House, like, I liked Austin or something. I'm like, don't even say that because that's insane.
Right.
Or like, what if I liked I was like, don't even, like, these are insane scenarios.
Yeah.
And I would never, any guy that she's ever hooked up with, off limits, hands, like,
Right. You never
the
cross-
completely opposite direction. But some people don't fly by those same rules, or some people like the competition and the aspects. Don't get it.
Don't get it.
Don't get it.
I know you can't tell me what your relationship status is, but can you tell me if you're happy?
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
happy.
you're happy. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good way to like sugarcoat it, or not sugarcoat it, but a good way to like. Yeah, it could go either way.
It could go either way.
It could be either way.
Either way. I mean, I think this relationship kind of took you by surprise, though, right? Is that fair to say?
I mean, I'm always like very cautious. Like, I think I might be like the most cautious in the house.
Yeah.
I am, and then people like will say guarded and whatnot, and like, so be it. But I think also I'm very intentional and just kind of carefully stepping, and not that I've like have PTSD. I do have probably a certain level of PTSD from the prior situation, but also like I have my own, you know, emotional baggage and stuff that I'm working through personally with like my dad and like other, you know, men in my life.
Sure.
So it's like always something that I'm always like stepping cautiously with. And so I think that people sometimes want to attribute it all to like the Austin scenario when it's like so much more than that, but it definitely caught me off guard. And like the I'm reading comments from the audience of like, she just needs to like let her guard down and whatever, but I just, you know, I'm always going to move at the pace that I want to. And
do you wish you did let your guard down a little bit more with him looking back at it now, or you?
No, I think that like I'm always moving in a way to protect my heart, and like
as you should.
I'm always gonna. I feel like I stayed true to myself. Like I didn't move faster than I wanted to. I didn't feel pressured. I really appreciated him not pressuring me and not making me feel pressure about the entire situation. So I was comfortable.
Yeah.
And I made sure that that was clear to him. Like if it's not something that you're comfortable with, you should go and do whatever you're comfortable with. And if that's with whoever, then amazing.
Right. How did you feel about him voicing those concerns with other people then?
Yeah.
And being like, you know, because like you called him this past episode your boyfriend, and then he's being like, well, I don't want to be exclusive with somebody that I'm not sleeping with.
Totally.
How did
I mean, it's always weird to hear these and see these clips.
Yeah, no, totally.
And our house is a game of telephone, so it's not a complete surprise. I mean, I do think that I wish that there were conversations that maybe he would have had with me personally as opposed to talking to other people about it. But at the same time, it's like, you know, he's also forming relationships with these people in this house, and it's also new to him. But I think that we were pretty much very transparent with each other, and I totally understood, like, it doesn't really make sense. Like, if we're not sleeping together, like, you know, but also I'm not going to move faster, you know, than I want to, than just to, like, you know, be exclusive or whatever.
I did like what you said in the after show, though. That it is a privilege to be with you.
Yeah. Like I don't know. Like the whole sex conversation it's a toss up because you know you have one side of it where you want it to be like empowering or whatever. You want the freedom to do whatever you want, but also it's like I'm a person who becomes emotionally attached with that type of thing, and I think that for everyone it's so different. It's such a different bond. It's such a different connection, and I think that, you know, I have like a certain responsibility for myself, and I don't really want to like I mentioned this at the reunion actually. Like I'm not like really the type to like give myself to everyone. I'd rather like be worshipped and like really appreciated by one person as opposed to like, you know, a lot.
Yeah. Do you feel like you got that from West though?
Yeah, for sure.
Did? Yeah. Were you nervous though about dating somebody on camera again after what happened with Austin? There were definitely some red flags there. Not red flags, but just
they're red.
Stuff. Yeah, I mean
they're red flags. Yeah, no, definitely nervous to date on camera. It's like one of those things because it's like, but it is my life also. Yeah. So I am also, you know, doing what I would do in my normal life, but the dating part is hard because, you know, if things don't work out or if they do work out, it's like, you know, you're opening up your entire self and your relationship up to everyone's opinions of you guys. That's pressure that you're having to live under, and I just sometimes don't want to subscribe to that, but that's where I think like you really have to be like compatible with this person and have good chemistry with this person, also have that communication aspect there. So
how'd you feel about Wes texting other girls
when I honestly like I didn't care.
You didn't care. Were you texting other guys?
Probably. Like, you know, I honestly it didn't bother me because at that point we'd only known each other for like maybe a month and a half.
Sure, yeah.
2 months. Like there was still so much gray area in our relationship and like things to talk about, things to explore. Go for it. You know, like have the best time.
What was there a label on the relationship though by end of summer?
No, not by the end of the summer.
Okay.
No.
Afterwards?
can't answer that.
I know, we're all like just dying.
I know, that's
the
probably
fact that you guys were able to like keep this a secret until like almost a year later is like kudos to you guys.
Yeah, tight lips. Honestly, good on me, but good on him because he is a blabbermouth actually.
Yes. Has that been difficult though?
He is in. He's an open book through and through, and I'm like, shut up, shut up. But he's very like, he knows. He's scared of me.
He's scared. He's like, don't say a word. I will come after you.
Appropriate.
Obviously, this summer we see the fallout of Carl and Lindsay's relationship, and are you looking at it now? Are you surprised or not shocked that they didn't end up walking down the aisle together?
I'm so not shocked.
Yeah.
I think that that's what was best.
Yeah.
Not gonna say we were making like judgments at the beginning of the summer, but after that first weekend, we were kind of like, no way that they're getting married. But we did see like both the dedication and commitment on their part to like try and resolve these issues. But I think ultimately, like, we kind of knew it was a compatibility issue, and like chemistry is one thing, but like if you're really just not compatible with someone, it's probably best that you not walk down the aisle with them, you know? So I think I totally get that it's like a hurtful process, and especially seeing it all, you know, kind of unravel on these episodes. I can't imagine that pain and like, you know, having to rewatch it, but I think ultimately it was the best decision for the both of them, and like, I'm definitely a believer in divine timing, so, you know, it's a plan. There's a bigger plan here.
No, do you think that they both walked away from the reunion feeling okay?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you. Yeah.
Do you think that they could be back in the house together, though?
See, I just don't see a world where I'm, like, going, like, I'm still summer housing with my ex-fiancé.
Right. Seriously, that I was planning a life with.
Yeah, but maybe I've seen crazier shit.
Right, I don't know. Stranger things have happened. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But are you and Lindsay still close?
Yeah, like we're good.
Right.
We're not super close, but you know, more of like a check-in here and there. But I feel like, you know, Lindsay's trying to like cut up during the summer, so you know, I could definitely see her back in the house.
I could definitely see her back in the house. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
But was it nice that the girls were able to like come together in that time, though? And actually, what did you make of Carl's conversation with his parents? Because a lot of people had a lot of different opinions about that one.
I think that Carl is a person who works a lot up here and keeps a lot up there and has very little outlet, and so I can see how people would like see this other side to Carl, but I really just think for some reason I feel like I get him in a weird way where I'm like, you keep it all in here. You have no one to really reason or rationalize with or bounce ideas off of and like scenarios. So you keep it all in and then you kind of spit it out and it sounds one way. But I really don't think like, you know, he had this malintent. And I think that, yeah, he had his guard up, he was defensive, but I also think Carl's the type of person where he's like still really getting to know himself on this journey of being sober and like not, you know, drinking and stuff. So I can't imagine like, you know, the conversations that go on in his head. It's got to be a battle. And honestly, I try to give him some grace because it's a lot. And he's only out, how many years? Two or so? Right. It's still such a new journey. So, yeah.
Do you feel like he did blindside her with the breakup?
I don't feel like blindside is the proper word.
Right, yeah.
I'm like, and then Lindsay is, you know, the type of girl, like she has that abandonment issue background, which I also have. So I understand like sticking relationships out through and through and like seeing them through and, you know, not wanting to give up on people because people have given up on you. And so sometimes that makes it really hard for you to like really decipher, you know, whether or not you need to walk away from something or whether or not you need to fight for it. So I relate to Lindsay on that part so hard, but sometimes it's like, it's hard. She knew what kind of like what they were going through. I don't feel like it was that much of a blind side. if anything, maybe they could have postponed as opposed to calling it off completely.
Right.
But I don't think that. I think by the end of the summer, I was more of like, I was saying to Lindsay, I was like, I think you more need to like postpone this. And you guys don't need to move forward with this in November. And she was like, well, why would we postpone and just not get married? Like, what's the difference of a couple months? I was like, well, maybe you guys will be on the same page. I don't know. I just don't want to go into a wedding like on such hostile ground.
No, totally. And maybe they could have salvaged some sort of friendship.
Yeah.
I don't know. I doubt it. I don't think.
Yeah.
And then finally, do you believe the tarot card reader saying that Paige is going to be engaged by the end of the year?
This year, 2024?
Yeah,
No. I don't know if I believe that tarot card reader
at all.
She also said Lindsay and Carl were the most compatible.
Oh, right, that's true.
Yeah. I don't even remember what she said about me, but don't believe it.
Don't believe it.
I need to talk to my psychic. It's about time.
Do you just feel like she and Craig are just in their own good rhythm?
Yeah, I think they're in a good rhythm. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yep.
Like, I think that they're not moving to the beat of other people's drums, and they're really doing what is best for them. And they are killing it both with their businesses individually. So it's like they have the means to keep flying back and forth and doing whatever they need to do. They see each other all the time. Like, this isn't like the 30s. We don't have to get married at 25 or 18 or 23, 22. Like, we're fine.
We're fine.
She's
we're
okay.
Good. Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. But like you said, if it ain't broke.
Yeah, don't fix it.
Yeah.